We live Friday nights in Northwest Georgia. Mike Atwater, Roma Elite Sports Center. Mr. Lawrence Morgan, Northwest Georgia Football.us. We're live here at Harrison County High School. We're in Rebel Country. And one of the biggest games in this school's history will take place Friday night as the undefeated Harrison County Rebels take on North Murray. How you feel about this? Well, we'll break down that game. Today we're going to talk, since we are about 2-3 weeks away from the playoffs, we're going to talk playoff football. We're going to start with all our area regions and talk who we think is got the best possibilities. Now, fans, we're not saying that it's set in stone.
Yeah, so please do not send any DMs.
Yeah, don't send death threats or none of that stuff.
I don't want my tires slashed.
Yeah, don't slash his tires. Don't slash mine. We're not saying it's etched in stone, but what we're predicting on how things are going and looking right now on who's going to make the playoffs. So we start in 6A, and we think at the end of the day, Harrison is going to win Region 6A.
Harrison, yeah. Harrison's got it locked up. You know, they beat Altoona last week, 21-14. That pretty much locked it for them. The big game in, 6A is Dalton and Altoona in 2 weeks.
That game going to be in Dalton.
It's going to be in Dalton. That's going to determine the second and third seed, which is important because there's a couple of big teams waiting for them in 8-6A.
So we got Harrison, we've got Altoona, Dalton. The Altoona-Dalton winner will possibly be the 2 seed. Creekview is a team that made a deep run in the playoffs last year, 12-13-0. We think they will make the playoffs. Yeah. Big game in that region that's coming up. Sprayberry and Sequoia with an outside chance of getting a 4 seed, but really in Region 6A, it's down to about 5 or 6 teams. We know Altoona is a lock. We know Harrison is a lock. Dalton is a lock. Creekview, Sequoia, and Sprayberry will possibly determine the last seed in 6A.
Yeah, I think Creekview has the advantage in that race right now. You know, they get Sprayberry at home, and that's going to be the game I think determines that 4 seed.
Now in 7-5A, a couple of weeks back, Rome defeated Kale 21-20. Carrollton turned around and defeated Rome right at the end, 24-20. Now Carrollton and Kale will meet this Friday at Kale to possibly, if Carrollton wins this game Friday night, they will be the Region 7-5A champs. We got Carrollton, Kale, Rome, and Hiram. Hiram is surprising teams, and next week, man, Hiram comes to Rome for possibly a big game between Hiram and Rome next Friday night at Barron Stadium.
You know, I think Hiram has the advantage right now in the fact that they can lose to Rome, Kale, and Carrollton, and they're still the 4 seed as long as they win out. I think they have a pretty light schedule the rest of the season. I got to looking last night, and the team that could surprise everybody is East Paulding. You know, they're sitting at, 1-6 right now, but they played Rome, Carrollton, and Kale.
Yeah, they can get ready for basketball and wrestling. It's a wrap. That's going to be a done deal. Yeah, it's going to probably be those 4 teams. Now, the way that region works, if Kale defeats Carrollton, we have a 3-way tie for the top spot, possibly. No, not saying anything about Hiram, but we got a 3-way spot at the top. It's a point differential, meaning if I beat you by so many points, you beat me by so many points, whoever has the biggest differential wins the region. And in Rome, the year they won the state championship, that's how they was able to finish first in the region, because that same year, Rome lost to Kale, beat Carrollton, and then I think Carrollton beat Kale. So Rome still has a chance for home playoff games. And remember, this year in the playoffs, they've gone back to, after the first round, you go to a South Georgia region, or South Georgia region comes up to you. So right now with Rome, Carrollton, Kale, there's a possibility round 2, you could be going to Warner Robins or Bainbridge.
Yeah, I got to looking at the first round playoff projections for that region, and they play the Southwest DeKalb region in the first round. And I got to looking at some of the stat predictions or whatever, and 7-5A possibly could sweep that first round.
Yeah, it's Southwest DeKalb. I think it's Miller Grove. That's a basketball region. That's Columbia, a big-time basketball region, and they got good bands down there. Lawrence was in the band. Lawrence, tell them about your band experience as the baton twirler.
Well, I played the flute the first 2 years. The second 2 years I was baton twirler.
That's pretty good. I was in the band. I played the electric guitar until one night it was raining It was an extension cord, and
That's what happened to you?
I got electrocuted.
Yeah.
I got electrocuted on the field.
That explains a lot.
I know it. Thanks, man. 6-4-8. Big game this weekend, man. Northwest at Pickens. Northwest right now is the top team in 6-4-A. You got Ridgeland, you have Pickens, and we have Heritage right now as 14. The game that I have that I'm not going to discuss, Lafayette at Ridgeland, which is a Walker County battle, should be an interesting game Friday night at Lafayette High School.
Yeah, I think Lafayette has a chance to pull the upset. They have that junior back, Jamario Clements, man, that's really been performing well this season. And you got the 4 teams that you mentioned, but Lafayette and Gilmer County still have a shot.
I'm rocking with you, Bobcats.
To sneak in the playoffs, man, because they have all the teams in front of them that they need to beat to get in.
I mean, that region, and we were looking at it in the non-region side and how it didn't seem to be that good, but man, these games have been kind of competitive in Region 6-4A. Move on to this region. Region 6-3A, the region we in now. This region has been dominated by the Calhoun Yellow Jackets. Calhoun still has a chance of winning the region. And let me just say something real quick, man, to all you Georgia sports writers out there. Shame on you, man. Shame on you for not having these 2 teams that's going to play in this game Friday night ranked. Harrison County is undefeated. North Murray, I think, is 5-1 or 6-1, and they're not in your top 10 in AAA. I know these 2 teams got to be 2 of the best teams in AAA football. Yeah. I don't understand how they're not ranked.
I think a lot of the sports writers' polls are based on name and not really on body of work.
It's not cool because, Harrison County is undefeated. What other undefeated team? If you go through and you look at each classification rankings, you ain't got to go through the rankings. Just look at the standings. Find me a team that's undefeated that's not ranked. Total disrespect to Harrison County. Yeah. People are putting it on their history or the past, how the program used to be. This is a big time program now, man. Yeah, look, we're here. Yeah, we in Buck Canyon, Tallapoosa.
They have a chance right out here Friday night to change that, though. I think if they pull the upset here Friday night, definitely should be in the top 10. If they aren't in the top 10 after this weekend, then
both of these teams, though, man. North Murray, they have put on a excellent display in some games, man, and they got some stud. Harrison County got the big Molly Wallers, the Holly Wallers, whatever you want to call them up front, man. Harrison County, man, this region needs a little bit more respect, man. Harrison County, Calhoun, North Murray, and then that 4th seed could be up in the air. You got Murray County. Yeah. Well, you got Sonoraville.
You got a big game Friday, Sonoraville and Adairsville.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge game. All right, the loser of that game is gonna be out of the playoff running.
Yeah. The only advantage for 6 AAA is they have a chance to get 5 teams in, and I think Sonoraville and Adairsville both get in because of that.
Do you think Murray County has any chance?
Yeah, I think Murray County has a chance, but it's tough. It's gonna be tough on them.
We move on to 7AA, and it's going to be a big game in Rockmart, Georgia, Friday night with the #1 ranked team in AA. Shout out to my little nephew, JoJo Tomlin, freshman, has returned 4 punts for touchdowns this season. Got an offer from Akron, as well as the quarterback, Nunu Watley. Is Nunu Watley the AA Player of the Year?
Nunu Watley is the 7AA Player of the Year.
The overall class, is he the best player this season in Class AA, you think? I know you ain't seen everybody.
Right. He's definitely one of the top 5 players in AA. They got that running back down at Callaway that's really good.
Yeah, Tank Bigsby, he's put up some big numbers.
They got a couple of defensive linemen at Dublin that are big-time prospects.
And right now for the Yellow Jackets, those are the teams that stand in their way from getting back to the state championship. Dublin, you have Callaway, Hateville, Charter.
Rabun County.
Rabun County is another team. So when we start talking about Rockmart, those are the teams that Rockmart need to be concerned with. They got some big-time D linemen up front. Deacon Allen, another Akron commit, Jamal Thompson. They got the Culver boys out there, Payne and CJ. Juke Booz on the other end of receiving. Mr. Floyd running the football. They got speed and talent everywhere, man.
I know we've talked about it on some of the other shows we did, but do you think the schedule that Rockmart plays hurts them or helps them when it comes to playoff time?
I mean, you open up with Cedartown, which is a 4A school, and if Tati Hudson don't get hurt, that may be a different game. Not taking nothing away from Rockmart, could be a different game. Then you play Heard County, which is kind of down. People kind of expecting Heard County to be a perennial powerhouse again because they won the state championship. You play Central Carrollton. It didn't really affect them last year because they played the same teams from last year and they made it to the Benz, which this year I guess we'll freeze.
You got one of the best receivers, if not the best receiver in Northwest Georgia on that team.
Yeah, Juke Boozer and Peyton Rose.
They don't have to throw the ball, you know?
Yeah, those guys are big-time receivers. They don't have to throw it. Yeah. Nunu Watley's throwing it, but we know Rockmart and Pepper are pretty much locked. Maybe Chattooga model game Friday night.
That's a big game.
That's going to be a big game.
That's a big game for a lot of teams in 7AA because if Model upsets Chattooga at home Friday night, I think that eliminates Gordon Central and Coosa from the playoff race. It'll be tough. It'll be a tough go for them. But if Model loses Friday night, that sets up a huge game next Friday in Shannon. Gordon Central, Model for that number 4 spot.
Hey, it's definitely a possibility, man. So it's still some big games in 7AA. 5AA, it's going to be pretty much the Callaway Cavaliers. Callaway, Lamar County, Heard County. This Bremen Temple game. How far are we from Bremen Temple right now? Are we in Butt Cannon or Tallapoosa?
We're right smack in the middle.
So we in Buckapoosa.
Talcanon,
Georgia.
Talcanon,
Georgia. That sounds pretty good. Buckapoosa.
We're about 10 miles from Bremen.
Bremen and Temple, man, Friday night. Talk about that game.
Man, I tell you what, the Bremen defense is probably one of the best defenses in Northwest Georgia right now. You know, I wasn't sold on them to start the season, but some of the results they've had, you know, they held the Cedartown Bulldogs to 7 points, which is impressive. You know, they played Callaway, was it 20-7, 20-14?
Pretty good game, yeah.
I mean, anytime you can hold Callaway to 20 points, man, you got a heck of a defense. And
are they going to be able to contain Mr. Phillip Johnson Friday night?
I think they have the size and speed to do it, you know.
Okay. So, that's a huge game, man, Bremen and Temple, because Spencer doesn't have a chance, and Jordan. Callaway, Lamar County, Heard County, and it's a Bremen Temple game, man. The loser may be out of the running.
Well, you know,
playoff.
I think it's going to go Callaway, Bremen, Heard are your top 3. They're going to definitely be in. And I think the game for Temple is the Lamar. Well, I think the game for Temple is going to be the Lamar County game. I think that week 10 could be a huge game to determine that number 4 spot.
I think Lamar County right now is like 5-1, 6-1. Callaway thrashed them last week or the week before.
Yeah, Lamar and Temple both got thrashed by Callaway. So
yeah, Callaway is definitely going to win that region. The best region to me, as we get ready, we continue to talk about possibilities of the playoffs. The best region is 6-1A in Northwest Georgia, flat out. Darlington, Christian Heritage, North Cobb Christian, Trine, Bowden. You have 5 teams all with big aspirations of winning a state championship. And on the way down, we were talking, could you see any of these teams advancing Elite 8 semifinal round, either in the public or private school region?
Yeah, I think with the way the single A playoffs shape up, you know, with the top 8 teams getting a bye, so you just have to win one game to get to the final 8. I think Bowden, Christian Heritage, and Darlington all make it to the final 8, and I can see any one of those 3 teams making the final 4.
Yeah, there's some pretty big games still left in this region. Now, Bowden, Christian Heritage, Darlington, Trine, North Cobb Christian, Gordon Lee, all on one side. On the other side is Mount Perrin and Fellowship Christian, Whitfield Academy. So what's going to happen, in another 2 weeks, they're going to play what they call a region crossover game. And wherever you stand in the rankings or the standings on your side, you're going to play the same team on the other side. So if you're 7th, you play 7. If you're 6th, play 6. The Darlington-Bowden game will possibly be to see who's the sub-region champ.
Well, I mean, there's a game this Friday night that might have something to say about that.
That Bowden Christian Heritage game, we're going to get in that when we get in our prediction segment. But that Bowden Christian Heritage game going to be pretty big, man.
Yeah. If Bowden were to win that, then it definitely sets up a Bowden-Darlington showdown. 2 undefeated teams next Friday night at Darlington.
You think that's where we're going to be next Friday?
Possibility.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know.
You never know about us.
But if Christian Heritage were to win that game, and they're actually favored by Cal Preps to win that game.
Over Bowden?
Over Bowden.
Okay.
Then I think Darlington pretty much has a wrap on on 6A.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to get into our segment. Before we get into our segment, let me just get you a little youth football update.
We forgot one.
What we forgot?
We forgot 5-4A.
5-4A.
Sandy Creek.
Sandy, hey, before we get into youth football and get into our prediction, 5-4A, Sandy Creek, Cartersville, Troop, look like they're going to be locks. The end of the regular season, Cedartown and Chapel Hill should be a huge game. Cedartown defeated Central Carrollton last week. They got Troop next week, which, ball bounce here and there. Cedartown could win that game. Most likely, the high seed that the Dogs could get is a 3 seed. They moved Jaden Johnson, the quarterback. He's making some things happen and getting Kobe Pryor the ball. So that Cedartown, Chapel Hill game is going to be big. But it's a huge game Friday night in Wyman Stadium, home of the Purple Hurricanes, Cartersville and Sandy Creek.
I've seen 4 or 5 polls out there, and one has Cartersville number 1, some have Sandy Creek number 1. So you got the number 1 and number 2 teams facing off Friday night.
Man, it's going to be a good one, man. Sometimes, man, I hate that I'm an official sometimes because there's some games that either if you can't cover them, you want to go to it. And it's going to be so many big games Friday, man. This kind of reminds me of those Saturdays where it's games on all day long that are good. I'm talking about all day. So, Sandy Creek and Cartersville, we're going to predict this game in a minute. Shout out to Rockmart Middle School on winning the Floyd County Middle School League Championship. Defeated Cedartown yesterday, 52-13. It's a big game coming up in youth football this week between Rome 9U team against Bartow County 9U team. And we are having Northwest Georgia football, Rome Elite Sports. Y'all listen, the D2 Youth Football State Championship. November 23rd and 24th, Gordon Central High School. You may see us there. This is all a part of the Northwest Georgia Sports TV package. Sound like I'm on the ESPN. That sounded good, didn't it? So that's some youth football for you. Shout out to the Rome Middle School, not Rome Middle School. Shout out to the Rome Middle School 8th grade team. They got some studs out there on the middle school team.
That's Kirby Smart?
Yeah, Kirby. Let me answer Kirby. Go ahead and talk to him, man. Hey, Kirby, how you doing? Yeah, we messed that one up big time, sad. I know it. Well, look, man, I'm trying to do a show real quick, man. The guy next to me got an Alabama hat. He probably want to say Roll Tide. Yeah, I'll talk to you in a minute, man. All right, Kirby. All right, man. Go Dogs. We'll be back. That was an interview. I was talking to Kirby. Kirby, he calls me from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
We talk football. We talk about life.
I sure hope he didn't call you before Saturday's game, did he? Did he call you for advice before this past weekend?
I don't think that's none of your business.
That's a definitely yes.
We'll be back. Don't really find it funny that you're talking about Georgia and they lost. Not amused at all with the Alabama hat on, okay?
All right, gotcha.
We'll be back in a second. Should I get to it then? Let's get to it. I got the top 10 game. I'll read them here and tell you what it is. I got them.
Oh, you got them right there?
Yeah, my damn marker went out. So I couldn't finish going. But we ready.
All right, we're going to predict the top 10 games in Northwest Georgia.
Yeah, since it's getting closer to playoff time, we inside week 8, week 9. We're going to take the best games in the area and break them down. And we start with the number 10 game. Bremen Blue Devils, Temple. What you got?
I got Bremen.
Game at Temple. He talked about a good defense from the Bremen Blue Devils. I'm going Bremen too. I'm going Bremen. That's our number 10 game on our prediction center right now. Number 9 game. We talked about it earlier. Region 7 AA game. Loser may be in trouble. Chattooga at Model. I like LaShawn Lester and Jamarius Mostella. I'm rolling with Chattooga.
This is my upset pick of the week. I don't have a.
Oh my goodness.
I don't have it painted on my chest or anything, but I'm gonna roll with the Model Blue Devils, man. I like that defense up there. Coach Jeff Honeycutt's done a great job.
Honeycutt, man, he gonna turn some things around in Model and Shannon, Georgia. I'm telling you. But Friday night, I'm rolling with them Indians.
They're playing at home. If they win, they clinch a playoff spot more or less. I think the Devils by 3.
All right, now the next game, I'm not at liberty to talk about. Don't talk about the games that I have to officiate. I'll let you have it. Lafayette at Ridgeland.
It's going to be a close game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Lafayette pulls the upset, but I have to go with Ridgeland.
Okay. All right. 6-1-8 battle up in Tryon, Georgia. Darlington at Tryon. Darlington has been impressive all season. I say it every time we get on the show. One of the most underrated running backs, one of the most underrated players in this area, Colin Rogers, all he do is run off 100 yards. Big physical back. They have receivers. I feel pretty good about Darlington's chance to make a little run in the state playoff. I like Darlington big over Tryon.
Yeah, I said it earlier in the season. I think the only team that beats Darlington this year is a team that throws the ball at least 50% of the time, and Tryon doesn't throw the ball. I think Darlington shuts them down.
Northwest Whitfield at Pickens County. I was really impressed with Northwest a couple of weeks ago. I had them when they played Ridgeland. They have a kid, and I want y'all to listen to this stat. They have a kid named Jordan McCamish. He had 33 tackles against Ridgeland, and I guarantee you I saw all 33. He was on every play. They have a good young quarterback. They run the ball. Northwest at Pickens. Pickens has been kind of the big dog in the region the last couple of years. I'm running with Northwest Whitfield.
I agree. Going with the Bruins.
We moving up. We in the top 5 games of the week. Carrollton at Kiel. Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Trojans. I think it's going to be a close game, but, I like Carrollton to make a real deep run this year in the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if they win 5A.
Carrollton, they have a freshman quarterback by the name of Miles Morris that just all he does is throw touchdown. Kiel, I think you're a pretty good team, but I think Carrollton's going to roll maybe 2 touchdowns over Kiel, and this possibly is going to end the streak for Rome of winning the region title. I think they won it like 3 or 4 years straight. Yeah. But we like Carrollton. That's our number 5 game of the week. Our number 4 game of the week. Woo! Gage Stevens and Bowden. Mm-hmm. Coach Pogue and Christian Heritage Lions. Who you like?
I'll tell you what, I wish I had a TV I could set up out here on Friday night because I'm going to be here watching this game. But
I'm going to give you my account to end the North NFHS. I think the game coming on that.
Hey, if there's anybody here from Haralson County watching, if y'all can set me some TVs up in the press box, give me a
Make sure they got like the rabbit ears with the aluminum foil. Yeah. That's what he's used to.
Yeah, I need a full spread.
Yeah. Give him something to eat. Yeah, give him something to eat, please.
I can sit up in the press box and watch that Christian Heritage Bowden game.
Make sure the air conditioner on too, so he can freeze.
Yeah. And I'm gonna go with Christian Heritage in that one. I think they have the size to maybe slow Bowden down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I'm going Christian Heritage too. I like Christian Heritage over Bowden there at home. I think Christian Heritage is working their way to a home playoff game. This upcoming playoffs, I like Christian Heritage in this contest too. That was our number 4 game. Our number 3 game. Now, when it came to the fan voting on Twitter and the Roman Lee Sports Center page, it was deadlocked. Pepperell, Rockmart, Harrison County, and North Murray. So we end up at Harrison County. We flip the coin. We end up at Harrison County. Pepperell at Rockmart. Undefeated Rockmart. Number 1 Rockmart. Pepperell trying to gain that respect on a statewide level. Is this the night Pepperell defeats Rockmart?
This is not the night that Pepperell defeats Rockmart. I know Pepperell's played well the last few weeks. I just don't think they have the complete offensive weapons to compete with Rockmart. I think Pepperell's got a great defense, and they might hold Rockmart to under 28 points, but I can't see them competing touchdown for touchdown with the Jackets.
I have a lot of faith in Gage Moses, Shannon White. They got a young freshman running back by the name of DJ Rogers running the football. Peyton Rose is a stud, man. Rockmart has 20 of them studs. I think Pepperell is going to play them tough for half, maybe a quarter and a half, but I like Rockmart 42, Pepperell 21.
I'm going to go 28-0.
28-0. You skunking?
0.
28-0.
28-0.
Pepper, I got faith in you. I think you're gonna get on the board. We're gonna see who we're gonna see who come close on that one, because he's going 28 skunk. Man, I'm going, like I say, 42-21, something like that. I think you got enough talent to put up points on the board. But Pepperell Dragons, If you want to get that recognition statewide, this is the game to do it against Rockmore. This is your time to be that South Carolina against Georgia. This is your time, Pepper. Let's see if you can do it. 28 Skunk, that's what you're staying with?
28 Skunk.
All right. Our number 2 game of the week. Sandy Creek Patriots at the Cartersville Purple Hurricanes. Who you like Friday night in Cartersville, Georgia. That's another game you need a TV for.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm gonna need about 3 TVs up here, Harrison
He needs
County.
3 TV, y'all. Could you give him 3?
In a double spread of hot wings.
Now he needs 2 plates of hot wings, okay? Make one of them extremely hot. So he had to go to the restroom.
And please make sure the bathroom is unlocked.
Yes, make sure the bathroom is unlocked. Thank you.
But I like Sandy Creek, man. They have 9 Division I prospects on that team, and I think that's a lot of talent. And I know Cartersville's loaded with talent too, but I like the Patriots. Is that what they are? Patriots?
Yeah, Patriots.
I like the Patriots by a touchdown.
I like Sandy Creek over Cartersville Friday night, maybe 24-14, 28-14. It'll be I'm going 14 points on this with Sandy Creek. There's a good possibility Sandy Creek could win the state championship.
Yeah,
they're that good in 4A.
You know, in the big thing in that region.
Yeah, tell them about the playoffs.
Is they're playing for playoff seeding, man. They're going to be going against what region? Is it 8?
It's Region 7 with
7.
Blessed Trinity,
Marist.
Denmark, Marist, Flowery Branch. Between the 2 regions, it's 5 teams in the top 10.
Yeah.
And 2 of those teams are going to be gone possibly in the first round.
Yeah.
That's going to be some heck of a games there, man.
Yeah, the way it sits right now, whoever loses this game Friday is projected to host Blessed Trinity in the first round. And nobody wants to host Blessed Trinity.
3 years ago, Blessed Trinity defeated Cartersville in the second round to win the state. And I think, has Blessed Trinity won it back-to-back? I think they defeated Cartersville this past year for the state championship. Yeah, I think Blessed Trinity, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on it, I think they won it 2 years in a row. Rusty Manziel, if you watch it, man, has Blessed Trinity won the state championship back-to-back? We're trying to get Rusty on the show, man. Rusty Manziel, look, Northwest Georgia football, Friday night lights, Friday nights in Northwest Georgia. We're trying to get you on the show, man. Come show the hometown some love, man. Show the hometown some love. Game of the week, man. Well, I prepare for my game of the week stuff on who I got to win. We are live once again, Harrison County High School, the Harrison County Rebels. Harrison County has been a program that has not been that great in football. They played non-region schedules and were pretty good, but wasn't playing for anything. This is arguably the biggest game in Harrison County football history.
Absolutely.
Against North Murray Friday night. What do you think?
Absolutely. This is a game I could talk about until Friday, man. I'm excited about this one. I have no connection to either one of these schools, man, but I woke up last Saturday just counting the days down to this one. It's going to be a heck of a game. I think both teams are super talented on both sides of the ball. Harrison County has the size advantage, huge offensive line. Quarterback Clay Hyatt, he's already rushed for over 1,000 yards, and but then you got the quarterback at North Murray.
Yeah, Clay Hyatt, man, is a big time quarterback. He is a sophomore quarterback for
6'1", 215, 220.
Yeah, Clay Hyatt is definitely a beast for Harrison County. Late McConkey last week, y'all. McConkey had 7 touchdowns. He returned 2 punts for a touchdown. He had returned an interception for a touchdown. He had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns. And also, McConkey cooked the hot wings, the hot dogs. He drove the bus to the stadium. And after the game, people don't know this. After the game, he's a big time kid. To do all that. I'm really impressed with it.
I'll tell you what, I think this game is going to come down to the first 2 possessions of the game. You know, depending on who gets the ball first, I think if North Murray comes out and scores quick and is able to get a 2 touchdown lead on Harrison early, it's going to be tough for Harrison to catch up, you know, because they rely on that run game and
Harrison got the big guys up front, man. They got some horses up front that can really get it done for Harrison County, man.
But if Harrison come out with that big line and score first, man. Put a little pressure on North Murray, and I don't know. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. And who do you have to win this game?
Well, I wish I was a referee, man, so I didn't have to pick one, because I really don't want to pick anybody in this game, you know? Can I say a tie?
You could. You know, I'm going with North Murray because I'm thinking out loud. And North Murray with Mr. Tidwell and Mr. Lad McConkey by 3 touchdowns. Lad, have your picture here, Lad. Have your picture, Lad. Darling, I will loving you. Lad McConkey. North Murray. What do you think? You like my song? Dedicated to North Murray and Lad McConkey.
I think Michael Atwater is going to be walking back to Rome, Georgia here shortly.
I don't think so, man. I'm in touch with my feelings, man. I am. North Murray, Lad McConkey, you're a stud.
I guess I'm going with Harrison County Rebels, man. I got to go with that size. I don't have any picture on my chest.
I got to go back to my song. It's dedicated to Lad McConkey, Mr. Tidwell. Who you going with again?
Harrison County Rebels.
Lad McConkey, that song was dedicated to you and all the North Murray faithful in Chatsworth, Georgia. Harrison County, I love you. Think you have a great chance on Friday night. North Murray 28, Harrison County 21. Lad McConkey will have 2 touchdowns, and he's not going to clean the stadium this Friday. You know what Lad's going to do?
What's he going to do?
He's going to run a mile around this track after the game.
I'm going to go Harrison County 26, North Murray 23.
Either way, it's going to be a good game, man. Are you going to fill me in while I'm out doing my game?
I will.
Harrison County, man, like I said, this is one of the biggest games in the school's history. A lot riding, and for your region, you are supposed to line up with Region 8. They got some tough teams in Region 8. Hart County, Morgan County, I think Stevens County in this region. So there's a lot of ramifications with this game on Friday night, man.
Oh, yeah.
So for Mike Atwater, Rome Elite Sports, man, continue send that film in to NwGaFootball2@gmail.com. We enjoy the highlights. We enjoy the film. Hey, we know the seasons are changing. We're going to get into some basketball. This thing don't stop just because football season ending. We're going to have our football awards. We're going to keep this thing going. While my Lawrence is wrapping up, I'm going to continue to play my song. So for Mike Atwater and Rome Elite Sports, Lawrence Morgan on NorthwestGeorgiaFootball.us. See you next week.